Hi everybody, John Huldt here. This guitar pick in my hand, by the way. It's not a Boyle. It's a place in LA called Boyle Heights. This derailed pretty quickly. Anyways, I figured I'd make a little video about improvisation because I encounter people all the time, you know, when I teach and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, I can't improvise, I suck at improv." Although that question in itself was improvised. And I don't claim to be a master improviser or anything like that, but I've gotten good at it enough so I can get by. And I found a bunch of little tricks that makes it easier. And I come from a heavy metal background, as you can tell by the hair and the tattoos and all that stuff, and the Lego pirate chip. That's pretty metal in the back. So everything I would play was always written, you know, practice my solos a lot, stuff like that. And that's cool and all, but moving to LA and, you know, trying to make a living as a guitar player, you have to learn and have different skill sets, and improv is definitely one of them. A lot of times you're in the studio, they want a solo, or, you know, whatever it might be. You end up on stage with a bunch of people you don't know, playing songs you never heard. So you kind of have to be good at it. Here's my guitar, by the way. So, a few of these tricks I've come up with, or that I've discovered, I'm going to share with you today. First, to identify the problem. Why do we suck at improv? Like, if any sax player is just a crazy good improviser. The reason is we might not practice it always. And the guitar is a very symmetrical instrument. Like scales and patterns always look the same, which makes it easier to play. And much like you are what you eat, you also play what you practice. And guitar players have a tendency to do this. Okay, so now I've learned the A minor scale, or A minor pentatonic scale. And if you always practice it like that, that's what's going to happen when you start playing. So, you know, jam night happens, you go up and play. It doesn't sound very good. So we tend to focus too much, we lead too much with our left hand. Like the left hand gets to choose the notes, which usually is the worst, because left hand likes patterns. The ear hates patterns, so we have, you know, bobbing heads there. As we want to get away from that, and I have a good way of doing that, that I will share with you in a second. And also, we tend to not think about rhythm enough. And phrasing is much more about rhythm than it is about notes. You can hang on the same notes forever if you can just make it rhythmically interesting. But if you have boring rhythm, it doesn't matter what you play, because you know, it's all gonna sound sort of like shitty. So the first little trick I'm going to show you, I might show you a couple more, but the first little trick, and this is a really useful one. I will start super easy. One or two notes, leave some room, then I will build on those two notes. So whatever I start playing, I'm just going to let that naturally, it's kind of like building Legos. No Legos again. I have a ton more Legos over here, but you can't see. Like you put one piece on and then you put another piece on, and before you know, you have a pirate ship. So I'm going to do that. I have a little backing track I found on YouTube. I just searched A minor backing track, and Polar Flame is the channel. I have a bunch of backing tracks. How do you like that? It's my frying pan. I like bacon so much. So I asked my guitar tech, hey, is there a way to make the guitar sound like it's frying bacon? And he was like, yeah, totally. Just don't do anything to the volume pot. Anyways, I'm going to try to stick as much as I can to the A minor pentatonic scale. Because if you found this video, I assume you probably know that pattern. A minor pentatonic backing track is an A minor. So here it is. I'm going to try to build on a note. Check this out. One note. So I build on that. Let's see what else happens. And maybe some conclusion at the end. Then come up with something else. Okay, I guess that works. Sounds like I know what I'm doing, right? So there we have it, the old build on something simple. Blues players do this all the time. It works, it sounds really musical. And it gets away from blah, 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 just playing the same notes over and over and over. Or again, it's more about the rhythm. Another thing I encourage my students to do all the time when we start talking about improv is play like you speak, because you don't talk in one like single rhythm like this, and there's no, you know, everything you say has a rhythm to it. Everything you say has a rhythm to it. Yeah, that sounds like a 16th note pattern to me. So what you can do is just like either read something, just any, what do we have there? The Diodario, world famous for the distinctive bright tone. Okay, what would that sound like? World famous for their distinctive bright tone. It starts to sound like music. So I'm gonna read on my DL strings. This is XL. It is Diodario XL. Whatever. I'm gonna read and play, and hopefully it will sound like music. And really, all I'm doing is like chopping it into rhythmic segments. It's all about rhythm. So let's try this and see what it sounds like. World famous for their distinctive bright tone. XL round long strings deliver excellent. Maybe not the best solo the world's ever seen, but I'm improvising and I'm coming up with something new. So rhythm is a big one. The third little thingy I'm gonna ask you to do, or ask you to try, is to sing the notes that you're playing, because this is also, we want to really get away from leading with our left hands. Bad for musicalities. Like, music comes from somewhere else, if it's your heart or your head, or, you know, divine spirit, whatever it might be. Who knows? It most certainly doesn't come from the left hand, though. So the less we can lead with this guy, the better off we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a solo and I'm going to sing every note. I can't sing to save my life, but that's really not the point. You know, what I'm after is drawing the inspiration from somewhere else than my left hand. So let's try this out. I'm going to take it from the top. God knows how this is going to sound. Again, I haven't planned any of this. I'm improvising, right? That's sort of the point. So sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's awful. But the more you do it, you have more good than bad. Anyways, I'm going to sing every note. Check this out. Ooh, here we go. And here's my guitar. Didn't mean to play a C sharp there. And again, maybe not the best guitar solo the world has ever heard, but I'm cool with that. It doesn't have to be the best guitar solo the world has ever heard every time. And what's much more important is that I get away from playing this. Sounds like some retarded Chinese music or something. So try that. Really, really good ways. It works really well for me, and it's helped me get away from being a super sucky heavy metal try to improvise guy to being a semi-decent trying to improvise guy. So one, start off with one note or two notes, something really, really simple. Two, what do I do after that? Yeah, talk. Just, I had beef for dinner. Whatever you had. Maybe you had kale. Maybe you're, you know, a hippie. Maybe you ate your own shoes. I don't know. But, you know, say it. Say it and play it. And the third one is just to try to sing every note. It's going to take a little practice, especially if you're, like, not used to using your voice. But it's a really good thing, because, like, if you get good with your voice, you get good with your ear. And your ears are pretty important when you play music. So try that and let me know how you did, because I'm dying to know. See if this works for you as it did for me. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. John Huldt. Say hi to me on Facebook. Talk to you later. Bye.